Brace yourself. Right now, we are under the influence of a major double event. And everything is about to get a lot crazier from here. Right now, we're under the influence of two major events that are only going to peak in the next 24 hours. A geomagnetic storm is already shaking up the Earth's magnetic field, and Uranus is retrograding back into Taurus today. But here's the kicker. This means a whole lot more than you think when you realize what's fueling these events. You'll want to understand this if you want to navigate through what's coming next, because the intensity is just beginning. The supermoon may have passed, but the portal it left behind is still wide open. The massive surge it created didn't just disappear. It's still affecting you in ways you can't imagine. This is happening, and you're feeling it. The geomagnetic storm, it's only feeding off this leftover energy, making it more volatile, more personal, and more unpredictable. And Uranus retrograding back into Taurus is feeding off this intense energy, adding fuel to the fire. What happens next is unexpected, and it could flip your entire perspective. It's crucial for you to be aware of how this double event is going to affect you. Pay attention, because you're already being affected without even realizing it. The people who've been silent all year are about to become the loudest. Something's shifting right now, and it's not just the solar storms or the cosmic events happening in the sky. There's a deep, intense energy at play that's causing even the calmest individuals to start showing sides of themselves that have been hidden for a long time. If you've noticed subtle tension building around you, even from people who usually stay quiet, get ready. It's not that they've changed, it's that the pressure is reaching its limit. Uranus has a way of disrupting quiet energy. It taps into that stored-up rebellion, the desire for change that's been simmering underneath, and it forces a reaction. The people who've been silent, those who've kept to themselves, are suddenly feeling like they can't hold it in anymore. They've been absorbing everything, all the frustrations, the disappointments, and the longing for something more. And it's been building for months, maybe even years. Now, with Uranus retrograde in Taurus, all that pressure is starting to release. And here's the thing, it's not just anyone who's feeling this. If you've been tuned into the energy of the chosen ones, you'll know that many of them have been holding a quiet strength. They've been sitting in stillness, trying to understand the bigger picture. But now, Uranus is forcing them to break out of that stillness. The quiet ones, the ones who seem like they're always just listening, are about to snap. Not in a negative way, but in the sense that their inner rebellion, which has been dormant for so long, is ready to explode. It's the silent strength that's been waiting for the right moment to rise. When these people do speak up or take action, it's going to be powerful. Uranus doesn't just shift things, it ignites them. This is a call for the chosen ones to step into their true power, even if that means shaking things up. The world isn't ready for what's coming next, but it's happening. This is not Taurus season, this is Taurus being flipped. Now let's talk about the way Taurus energy is playing out under this Uranus retrograde. Taurus is supposed to be about stability, comfort, and nourishment. But under the current energetic pressures, those themes are starting to twist in ways that you haven't seen before. First, we have food. Normally, Taurus energy is all about enjoying life's simple pleasures, food, good company, and feeling grounded. But now, there's a distortion happening. People are starting to see food as an obsession rather than nourishment. What was once a source of comfort could now become a means of escape or a way to deal with the spiritual pressure they're feeling. It's no longer just about enjoying the meal, It's about finding control in something that feels tangible, because everything else seems chaotic. And that shift, that overindulgence, could be something that's hard to control. Next, look at beauty. Where Taurus energy traditionally seeks to create harmony and aesthetic pleasure, it's now being pulled into a more destructive direction. Beauty could become insecurity. People may feel like they need to look a certain way to stay grounded or loved, but the shift in energy could make them hyper-aware of their flaws. This isn't about self-love anymore. It's about maintaining a sense of control over the chaos they feel internally. Beauty is no longer just a source of comfort, but a source of pressure. Then, there's the classic Taurus need for comfort. What's usually a safe haven of rest and relaxation is starting to twist into escapism. People who once found peace in their routines, their homes, or their personal space might find that these same things feel suffocating now. The need for comfort is being challenged, and for some, the only way they can cope is by escaping into those comforts in unhealthy ways. And this is the lesson Uranus brings with it. What you love most is where the shock comes from. Uranus doesn't just challenge the things we take for granted, it disrupts the things we hold most dear. What was once stable and comfortable is now being flipped, and that can feel unnerving. For Taurus, it's a lesson in finding balance again, but also in releasing the need to hold on so tightly to what feels comfortable. This cosmic event is forcing people to question what true security really is, because it may no longer be where they expected it. The shift isn't about losing everything, it's about redefining what's essential and grounding in ways that don't limit you. The true awakening right now isn't about activating your gifts or aligning your chakras. It's about realizing that the things you thought would always be there might not be. This moment, this shift, isn't about what most people think it is. We've been sold this idea of spiritual awakening that focuses on discovering hidden gifts, aligning our energy centers, and unlocking mysterious abilities. But that's not the core of the awakening that's happening now. The awakening isn't about acquiring more powers or reaching higher planes of existence. It's about losing what you thought you could count on. It's about realizing that things you've relied on for security, whether it's your job, your relationships, or even your sense of self-worth, might not be as stable as you thought they were. This shift is pushing you into a space where adaptation is the key to survival. The universe isn't handing out new gifts right now. It's stripping away the old illusions that kept you safe but stagnant. The true power lies not in holding on to what you've always known, but in your ability to adapt to the uncertainty around you. It's in accepting that everything you thought was fixed, your life path, your career, your emotional states, could change in an instant. And that's where power lies, not in control, but in adaptation. This isn't about falling apart. It's about remaking yourself in real time, reshaping your world from the ashes of the old one. It's about embracing the change, not resisting it. The true awakening is happening right now, and it's forcing you to let go of everything you thought would last forever. What if the things you've clung to are exactly what's holding you back from becoming who you're meant to be? That's the real awakening. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also incredibly liberating. Once you accept that nothing is fixed, you realize you have the power to create what you want next. And that's where freedom lies. The geomagnetic storms happening right now are more than just physical phenomena. They're not only affecting the Earth's magnetic field, they're shifting human behavior in ways you might not expect. It's not just about feeling tired or out of sync. This is bigger, much bigger. People right now are feeling unmoored, like they're being pulled in directions they can't quite understand. It's as if the energy around them is in chaos, and they're being swept up in it without a clear way to control it. But it's not just that people are feeling off. They're acting out timelines that don't even belong to them. They're living in a world that's a little distorted, like the very fabric of reality is being stretched and shifted. It's as if they're stepping into roles or behaviors they've never taken on before. Emotions are surging in unexpected ways, and instead of these emotions flaring up in a predictable way, they're derailing people entirely. People who are usually calm are snapping. Those who are typically the strong ones are suddenly feeling fragile. The geomagnetic storm is doing more than just altering energy fields. It's messing with people's sense of self and timeline alignment. Time right now is feeling like it's evaporating. People are acting like they're running out of time, even if nothing has changed in their schedule. There's this sense of urgency, a feeling that they have to act now or everything will slip through their fingers. It's almost as if time itself is being distorted, like they're rushing through the days, but somehow not really living them. And if that wasn't strange enough, there's the theory that geomagnetic storms can disrupt group coherence. In a sense, people are becoming detached from one another. There's this untrusting energy in the air, like no one really knows who's on their side. It's not just a personal issue, it's a collective feeling. Groups, communities, even families are experiencing tension, where the usual harmony is disrupted. It's as if people can't fully connect with others because the magnetic field is pulling them in different directions. The world feels a little less grounded, a little more fragmented. This feeling of being detached, both from others and from reality itself, is why people are beginning to act out of character. They're trying to find solid ground in a world that feels like it's shifting beneath them. But here's the thing. This isn't a random occurrence. This is the effect of cosmic forces influencing not just the Earth, but our collective consciousness. These energetic waves are pushing everyone to wake up to their reality, but it's a reality that's quickly changing, leaving some people feeling a little lost. It's like collective uncertainty in real time. And as more geomagnetic storms hit, expect this feeling to get even stronger. People aren't just reacting to the physical world, they're reacting to the energetic chaos around them, and it's rattling everything. The question is, when everything starts to settle, will we feel grounded again, or will we find ourselves in a completely new reality? People are starting to feel it in ways they can't explain. Out of nowhere, they're exhausted, like their energy drops without warning. Not the usual tiredness. This is a deep internal shutdown that doesn't match anything happening in their day-to-day life. They're sleeping more than usual, going to bed early, waking up late, trying to recover their strength, and somehow feeling less rested than before. It doesn't make sense logically, because nothing in their routine has changed. Yet the body is behaving as if it's carrying a weight the mind refuses to acknowledge. This is because the body is picking up signals that the mind is still trying to ignore. The nervous system is responding to the energetic environment faster than conscious awareness can keep up. When the Earth's magnetic field is disrupted, when Uranus shifts into Taurus, when timelines start to collide and pull against each other, the mind tries to rationalize it, but the body just reacts. And what people are feeling now is their physical system straining under the pressure of a transformation that hasn't fully translated into thought yet. Your body isn't breaking down. It's trying to break free from the structures your mind still clings to. That's the real truth behind this sudden exhaustion. The body is rejecting old patterns that no longer fit the new frequency you're stepping into. It's trying to detach from the habits, fears, and mental frameworks that your mind is still holding on to out of familiarity. The fatigue isn't weakness. It's resistance, leaving the system. It's the body doing the work before the mind understands what's happening. This is why people feel like they're dragging themselves through the day, while their thoughts still claim everything's fine. The body is the alarm system long before the mind catches up. The fatigue, the heaviness, the need to rest. These are not signs of collapse. These are signs of transition. Your physical system is preparing you for a new reality that your mind will only recognize once the shift is complete. Taurus energy is about safety, predictability, and control. Taurus is the sign that craves stability. It wants to feel grounded, to know that everything around it is secure. But right now, with Uranus retrograding back into Taurus, that comfort is being mocked. Uranus is here to disrupt everything Taurus holds dear. And the more stubborn Taurus is about trying to hold on to what's familiar, the harder it's going to be. Right now, you may feel the intense urge to cling tighter to the things that have always given you comfort: your money, your relationships, your job, your identity. There's a natural instinct to hold on to what feels safe, what's predictable, because it seems like everything else is shifting, and you want to maintain a sense of control. The problem? The more you grip onto these things, the more they slip away. This is where the cosmic challenge lies. The more you try to control, the more you suffer. Taurus wants security, but Uranus doesn't play by those rules. It's a cosmic dare. Can you stay grounded while also letting go? Can you release the tight grip on the things that have been providing false security and trust that what comes next will be better, even if it's unknown? Taurus energy is asking you to stop clinging to the past and instead embrace flexibility and fluidity. Those who can remain rooted, who can stay centered in the chaos, but without the rigidity of holding on to what doesn't serve them, will be the ones who thrive in this energy. It's about being flexible, like the trees that bend in the wind, but don't break, instead of being rigid and trying to hold on to what no longer fits. The ultimate question is, can you find balance between stability and change? Can you trust that by letting go, you're not losing your foundation, but opening up to something better? Uranus is challenging you to let go of what feels comfortable, but doesn't bring growth, and instead, step into the unknown with faith. Let go of control, and the universe will meet you halfway with something more aligned to your true self. Those who try to fight this energy will find themselves resisting the very thing they need to embrace. Letting go is not a loss. It's a shift to something greater. The storm we're facing, combined with Uranus's return to Taurus, isn't just another event in the long timeline of cosmic occurrences. It's more than that. This is a preview of the next era. We're standing at a crossroads where the future is beginning to infiltrate the present, and it's demanding to be acknowledged. As Uranus retrogrades into Taurus, it's as if the future is leaking backward, trying to find its way into our present reality. What was once thought to be stable, tried and true, the values we've clung to for generations, is now facing a collision with what's coming. The old Earth values represented by Taurus, which are rooted in security, materialism, and comfort, are being directly challenged by the new Earth energies that Uranus brings. These are the future Earth downloads, the energy of radical change, rebellion, and revolution. And right now, they're clashing. They're not just coexisting, they're demanding space in the same place. This clash is being felt deeply within. Many people are experiencing an internal tension. There's a part of them that's telling them, stay safe, stay grounded, protect what you have. But then, there's another part of them, perhaps an even louder part that's calling them forward, urging them to evolve, to shed their old patterns, their old identities, and to make room for what's coming. This isn't just some easy choice. Should I evolve or protect what I have? Is the question that many are facing. But this isn't a choice. It's an initiation. The universe is calling you to hold a frequency that represents the future, a frequency you can't fully see yet, but you can feel it. It's asking you to act as a bridge between the old world and the new one that's already taking root. The future is trying to break through. The old Earth values are being confronted head-on with the evolution that Uranus promises. The question becomes, can you hold the space for what's coming while still respecting the lessons of the past? The energy that's bombarding us right now isn't just chaotic, it's necessary. It's pushing you to confront your own resistance to change. The question isn't whether you'll evolve, it's how will you evolve? Will you fight it, or will you align yourself with the flow of what's meant to be? Something about this Uranus retrograde feels different from anything you've experienced before. It's not the typical fog, not the usual confusion, and definitely not the kind of energetic slowdown people are used to blaming retrogrades for. This one hits sideways. It doesn't drag you backward. It pulls the world around you sideways while you stay strangely lucid in the middle of it. There's this odd sense that you're watching reality tilt rather than falling with it. The instability isn't happening inside you this time. It's happening around you, almost like you've stepped out of the old rhythm without trying. The world feels slightly off, but you're more aware of that off than ever. It's as though you're standing in the center of a crowded room where everyone else is losing their footing, yet something in you is waking up with a clarity that wasn't accessible before. This isn't the usual retrograde disorientation, it's something sharper. You can feel the chaos, but you're not drowning in it. You're observing the cracks instead of slipping through them. Uranus is pulling you into a new vantage point, one where you can finally see how fragile the old structures really are. The confusion belongs to the collective. The clarity belongs to those who can sit still long enough to notice what's actually shifting beneath the noise. You're not detached because you're lost. You're detached because you're being pulled out of the storm long enough to see its design. The patterns are revealing themselves. The illusions are unraveling in plain sight. The things you once accepted as stable are starting to warp, and instead of panicking, you're recognizing why. This retrograde is teaching you how to stay centered while everything else bends, how to remain grounded while the old framework collapses. Uranus isn't asking you to retreat or slow down. It's asking you to witness, to see what you've never been allowed to see before. The chaos isn't here to confuse you. It's here to expose what was always shaky. And that strange sense of clarity you're feeling is not a mistake. It's the signal that you're moving into a version of yourself that can handle the next phase without clinging to the past. That's why this retrograde feels different. It's not pulling you backward, it's pulling the truth forward. Uranus's re-entry into Taurus is not just another cosmic shift. It's the great awakening of your inner rebel that's been simmering beneath the surface for far too long. This isn't about chaos for the sake of it. This energy is primal, rooted in the deep-seated need to break free from everything that's been holding you back. Think about it. You've been sitting in your own waiting room, telling yourself you'll act when the time is right. You've been patient, waiting for the perfect moment to make your move, to speak your truth, to take that leap. But Uranus is no longer willing to wait. It's pushing you to take action now, even if the path ahead isn't fully clear. The truth is, the time is already here. This energy isn't about waiting for the world to give you permission or for everything to align perfectly. It's about taking the leap, trusting that the universe is ready to catch you once you make the decision to move. The soul's purpose isn't about sitting quietly and waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about acting in the now, creating change, and breaking free from the constraints of time. And deep down, you know this. Your soul signed up for a revolution when it came to this life. The question is, why are you still sitting quietly? Why are you still allowing yourself to stay stuck, waiting for someone else to make the first move? Uranus's energy is calling you to shake off the chains of hesitation, fear, and doubt. This is the cosmic jolt that's pushing you to make the change, take the risk, and step into your true power. Your rebel spirit is screaming to be set free, and this is the moment. Don't wait for the world to tell you it's time. You've already waited long enough. The revolution isn't coming, it's already here, and it's up to you to step up, embrace it, and dare to be different. You've been waiting for the right time for so long, but Uranus is teaching you that the right time is always now. Take a moment to look at the world around you. Society, finance, politics, and even spiritual systems, everything is built on the illusion of permanence. We've been conditioned to believe that the things we rely on are solid, unchanging, and dependable. But Uranus, in Taurus, is tearing apart that illusion, pulling back the veil, and exposing the truth. What you thought was solid, what you thought was stable, it's now starting to look unsteady. Banks, once the bastions of security, are now starting to feel shaky. The systems we trust to manage our finances, to provide stability and support, are beginning to show cracks. Relationships, which we often think are built on love and trust, now feel more conditional, dependent on external factors that are constantly shifting. Even the routines that we rely on for health and well-being, eating well, exercising, sleeping right, they seem almost useless now in the face of the energetic shifts we're experiencing. The things that we thought would always be there, that would never falter, are now being revealed as fragile. But here's the positive twist. This is where true power lies. This disruption is exactly what we need to break free from our old patterns and rebuild from a place of truth, not from comfort or convenience. Uranus isn't here to destroy for the sake of chaos. It's here to restructure, to make way for something more aligned with the reality of the moment. The old ways were built on an illusion, and now they're falling apart because they can't hold up to the changing tides of the world. This isn't a crisis, it's an opportunity. The collapse of the old systems means you now have the chance to rebuild from the ground up, on your own terms, based on what's true for you, not what's been handed down from the past. You can now create a life that's rooted in authenticity, not in the false promises of stability that have held you captive for so long. This is the moment to embrace the disruption and make it your foundation. The illusion of stability is fading, and while that might feel unsettling, it's also the opportunity to step into a new way of being, a way that doesn't rely on old structures to define your world. You're seeing through the illusion, and now it's time to step into the truth. You're being called to build a life that's sustainable, authentic, and aligned with the energy of the future. Embrace the shift. This is where true strength is born, when we let go of the illusion and begin to build on something real. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.